Hey everyone, welcome back out to Harvest Hills Ranch. You see these athletes out there and individuals that are working out, and everybody seems like they are just going all out with these workouts and doing high intensity all the time. But is that what you should be doing? Hey guys, I'm Dr. Arland Hill, and I have a passion for all things nutrition, health, and wellness related, and that includes how you move and make sure you're doing your exercises to a level that is beneficial to you. So let's tackle this question: what is the right intensity for exercise? There's a couple of questions that we need to ask to actually determine what is the right intensity for you. I will tell you in short, if the mindset is that I need to exercise all out all the time, that is not ideal. That is not what we want to shoot for. We want to think about creating a stimulus. We want to do an intensity with our activity, at least frequently enough that we can create an adaptive response. We want to stimulate the muscle to develop. We want it to get stronger. We want the muscle tissue to grow and increase in size. And that doesn't necessarily mean, if you're a female listening to this, that you need to add a lot of muscle tissue like you see the guys do. That's not the point of that statement at all. But you do want muscle tissue, especially as we increase in age, because that enhances our longevity. But to the point of this conversation, which is looking at intensity, there's a couple of things that I think we have to focus on here. One is, when it comes to your intensity, keep in mind that intensity is a relative conversation. Don't look at other people and try to gauge what is an ideal intensity for you against someone else. You can use metrics like the talk test. Did you pass the talk test? Can you do the talk test? If you're not familiar with the talk test, look that up in one of my other videos where I talk about that as a gauge for intensity. But use the talk test to figure out whether or not you're hitting an intensity level that is relative to you. It's not about trying to hit a certain amount of reps or a certain amount of sets. Those things come into play, but that shouldn't be your ultimate metric for what is the ideal intensity. The other thing you need to ask is, how frequently are you trying to get into a higher intensity zone? We want to make sure that we don't do that too frequently, because if we do, it over time starts to impede our progress. And what happens is we have to strike this balance between the frequency and intensity versus the amount of recovery time that we're allowing for ourselves. As we get older, we have to allow a bit more recovery time, but that doesn't mean that we can't still hit a high intensity. It just means that we have to be more cognizant about what that level of intensity is. Now, here's the other thing you want to think about with this, is that if I'm telling you that there are times when you don't need to be at maximum intensity, then that must mean that there are workouts that come into play where your intensity level can be lower as well, and that is indeed the case. There are other benefits to working out. You're developing neuromuscular patterns. You're developing small muscles that create stability in joints. You're increasing flexibility, range of motion, all these things. And you can achieve a lot of that without maximizing the intensity of every single workout. So in the big picture here, just simply ask yourself, what am I trying to achieve, and what is my capability? And if your intensity matches what you're trying to achieve, and you feel like each time you go in to do a workout that you're able to complete the workout, not that the workout wasn't challenging, but that you were able to complete the workout and get through it, then you're probably in the right zone on your overall intensity level. So learn when to push, but learn when to back off. And there's also a concept, which I'll just introduce here towards the end of our conversation, known as periodization. And periodization means that there are different steps or segments in your longer workout. So let's say you've got a workout that you're looking to do over the next 6 months. Well, there'll be times in that 6-month period where, say, for 3-4 weeks, you'll have a higher intensity, and then for a period of time, you'll bring it back down. So it's almost a stair step type of an effect. We're not going all out 100% of the time because that causes us to get into a plateau much easier. So if we can challenge ourselves and then take down the intensity, challenge ourselves again, take down the intensity, cyclically, whatever that looks like for you, we typically find that over time you continue to progress within your capability. So those are the things you need to look for when you're trying to figure out what is the right intensity for you. And by doing that, you'll find that you'll get a lot more pleasure out of your workouts and you won't push yourself into a burnout or overtraining situation either. So with that in mind, guys, hey, if you are looking for more information like this, make sure you come back right here. If you are looking for what I do on the clinical side, make sure you go to drarlandhill.com and you'll find out how I support my patients and how we work to give them optimal health as well. And then if you're interested in what Leah and I are doing out here at the ranch, go to harvesthillsranch.com and you'll find out how we raise food with uncompromising principles and how we use the types of food that we produce to help us recover from our workouts as well. So until next time, guys, we'll see you soon. I'm Dr. Arland Hill.